Hello and welcome to Straight Until Disney, a Disney deep dive and analysis podcast, where each week I, your host Jonathan, takes a deep dive into the history of each Disney film and the legacies that they left behind. I'd like to remind you that you can follow me on Instagram at Straight Until Disney Pod, and you can email me at straightuntildisneypod@gmail.com. This week's episode of Straight Until Disney is a little bit different because this week I'm joined by the lovely Tom Taylor.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm doing the podcast thing now.
Yeah. Hello. It's lovely to have you on.
Oh gosh. Is this the time when people normally say, "Mom, I've made
it." Yeah. So this week we're just going to be having a much more of a more discussional chat about all things Disney. So what I'll probably do is you might get Make Music Mine out on Thursday. It depends where I'm at with finding research, because what I've found, and I don't know if you've ever found, Tom, that a lot of the packaged Disney films, a lot of them, there's not a lot of production history that you can find easily, so you have to just dig for it. And to be fair, a lot of it is mostly the same when it comes to them, which is what I definitely found with the last two.
It's like the really popular ones, like you'll find loads of stuff on it, and then the ones that aren't so popular, you'll find anything on.
Yeah, it's just like I don't want to call it a slop, but it's like a bit of the slog of, that the World War II was happening, so you've just got to get, and then once you get to Cinderella, it's a bit more. There's going to be a lot more a deep dive into.
There's a bit more important things happening in the world.
Yeah, there was a lot more. Yeah, there was a lot more important things happening than right. Well, we need to make this Disney.
We need to make like a blockbuster film.
Yeah. But to be fair, some of it is really interesting when you have a look at it.
I mean, to be fair, Bambi's one of the films are not necessarily in the middle of it, but leading up to World War II and stuff like that. Maybe even the start of it. Like the fact that they managed to make that film before it came out, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. I know, and I have found it so interesting with the earlier ones. Is you find out that they thought Bambi was going to be second, and then you're like, nope. And that's why I also found.
It's probably the case of learning how the animals move and stuff is probably what's probably took longer than releasing it as the second film.
I know. So right, I'm going to start. We've got some questions we're going to have a proper deep dive and discussion with. So first thing I'm going to start with, what are your favourite Disney films?
So, I mean, I was messaging you yesterday about I couldn't pick just one film because that's impossible. So I picked 7.
Okay.
I narrowed it down to 7 from a good 15. So all for different reasons, really, mainly just because of how different the importance of them were to me and my upbringing and stuff. So for example, Toy Story 1 and 2 was the first 2 Disney films I ever watched. It was the first ones I've had on DVD. The first ones I ever had toys on and stuff like that. It was the first one I ever remembered. And it's being growing up where Toy Story 1 and 2 were the only 2 films around. Toy Story 3 didn't even come out until I was about 8. So
so you were 8, I'm 6. When Toy Story 3
are going to be head and hands now.
Yeah.
But realistically, being that kid of having loads of the toys and loads of Lego and stuff like that, and now Toy Story 5 is going to really give a good twist on giving the kids an idea of is technology the best thing in the world, or are toys much better than technology?
Yeah, I know.
And I feel parents taking their kids to see Toy Story 5 is going to really not just be sort of a moment to think about for kids, but also for adults, in the sense of we've let our kids use this technology over what we got brought up with, and how much has that
Mm,
been different in their upbringing to ours? Because toys do make
yeah.
a massive impact on kids' lives and stuff like that.
Mm, yes, I do agree with you, especially as I was diving into Toy Story 5 on the last week's, is so many people are against it, and you're like, actually, there's a really dynamic story that actually is so incredibly relevant. And if
Mm.
you have the right character, which is what I'm sure Andrew Stanton's done with having it be Jesse, it's
Yeah,
going to be a really good film because that character has so much arc in abandonment, which is what we're
yeah.
seeing with toys now.
It's like I feel like every Toy Story film kind of represents what not just what kids can have a second thought
Mm,
about, but what parents should have a second thought about as well. Like every Toy
mm,
Story film has that sort of thing about it. Like the first one is in the sense of like, from more of a child's point of view, is your favorite toy really your favorite toy until it gets replaced? And then Toy Story 2 is
mm,
more about like what happens if you lost your favorite toy and what impact that has on a child in the sense of losing it and then potentially getting sold off to the highest bidder from Al.
mm.
In the sense of like toys can be seen as toys and also be seen as collectibles, as well as Toy
Yeah.
Story 3 being in the sense of like they feel abandoned by their owner because obviously Andy's grown up, he doesn't play with toys anymore. So it's the sake of like, will you then think about that as an adult growing up with all your toys? Do I keep them for my kids or do I get rid of them? And then now Toy Story 4 is the kind of the same sort of thing where the old toys that you've been passed down to, you don't have a really much of a connection to that, so are they really valuable to you? And then Toy Story 5 is going to realistically
Mm,
deep, like have a deep analysis, like dive on the sense of like, is technology better than toys for kids?
yeah.
Um, my next one's Chicken Little, arguably
Okay. That's a
one of
cool
the,
one to.
in my opinion, this was like this was a film that I didn't know about until I got took to the cinema to watch it, pretty much. Or like I didn't. I think it was
Oh,
either I got taken to the cinema or I got the DVD of it. It was one of the two
yeah.
because I was really really young when I watched Chicken Little for the first time.
Mm,
And I just remember it being this like sort of like no kids talked about us, no kids knew about it barely, but it was one of the ones
yeah.
I've managed to like stumble upon and love it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Because
got so
yeah.
especially for its time and stuff like that.
Mm, yeah. Because we are that era of Chicken Little, Home on the Range, Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney was like, it wasn't
The
like not
Robinson
in
and stuff
its
like
good eras, but it was like in a we haven't got what we used to. Because to be fair, Pixar was carrying that torch during the
oh yeah,
noughties.
it was
So
like
it's
stuff
not
like
as like the weren't. Mm,
but like I said, Chicken like there was a video game made about Chicken Little. It was on like the PS2 or
oh
something.
wow.
Like I
Yeah.
played that. It was kind of like a platformer kind of thing as well. I can remember, anyways.
Mm,
And it was just I used to play it all the time. And even looking back on Chicken Little now, like it still holds up as a
mm,
really good film. And I'm surprised it doesn't get talked about as much because I feel like, especially for the time, maybe it's in the sense of because I grew up around the time it was released, it
yeah.
kind of has that kind of like pop culture sort of sentiment to it as well.
Mm, yeah.
The next one I've got is Cars. I
Yeah.
mean, being a lad who's grew up with like race cars as toys, and I'm a massive fan of like
Yeah.
Formula One, car racing in itself.
Mm,
Obviously, if you see a car film made by Disney, you're gonna want to go see it. Um,
yeah.
even outside of the fact that I love cars, like outside of Disney, even like the whole story of the first one, especially, like of the sense of like
Mm,
this
yeah.
young lad who constantly thinks he's fantastic and great. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like having like belief in yourself, but then there's obviously being overly ambitious with yourself. and then he gets sort of has to like learn to be humble and work with others and to succeed.
Yeah,
It's
and
really
then
good.
it's
Like,
yeah. And like I said when I was on Kevin's podcast a few weeks ago, I was like, the first one's a great film. The second one is bonkers, but just watch it without thinking about it. And then the third one,
I
it's all
love the
right.
second one. I love the second
Yeah,
one, mate.
the second
Not
one, I'm
even, not
like,
even because
it's just
it,
bonkers.
yeah, it's so like different to the first one, but I love it in that way because it's like you can tell, you
Yeah,
definitely tell that it's supposed to be just like a short, like what they've had with Meta for like
yes.
loads of times before. But they thought we've got more to this. We're going to make this a full-on film.
Yeah, you're like, so there's cars flying, there's cars shooting. You're like, what is?
Well, there's like multiple different versions of different race cars on there. So you've got like a F1 car in
Yeah,
Francesco, you've got Ray McQueen in like NASCAR, and then you've got multiple
yeah.
different like rally cars and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was it's a really cool concept, but you're like, really?
Like
It is
you
quite
would think
bonkers.
it's just an extended short film, really. That's what it's
Yeah,
basically just an extended, but it's amazing in that way.
yeah. Like the only thing that makes that film like it definitely happened is because Jeff Gavet's in the third Cars film. So you're like, it definitely
Yeah,
happened.
like this wasn't just like a daydream, like made as daydream or
Yeah,
anything. Like
yeah.
this
No,
is
no, no.
genuinely happened.
Yeah, that is the only thing from the second film to carry on. They could easily have went, no, it's dream.
It's like no, it did happen. They did remember
It
it.
re-
Don't worry.
Yeah, because I know from having looked through a lot of reports, Cars 4 is supposedly getting announced in the summer at D23, which I'm expecting.
The only worry is with Cars 4 is I don't know what they can do. Because, like,
No, I don't, but it'll just be a money grab because they know the
oh,
diecasts
yeah.
sell,
I
which
mean,
is
the
why I'm
third
like,
one I feel like was good in a way because it meant that McQueen's story ends. So then, like, you're
yeah,
not feeling like sort of hung on the sense of like, oh, so what does McQueen do after the first and second film? Like, he ends up winning like tons of Piston Cups and become
yeah,
basically like the ghost of the Piston Cup, and then obviously passes
mm,
on that mantle to someone else
like,
when there's a new generation of racers coming in, like what he was when Chick Hicks and what the King was
mm,
in the first one.
yeah, because like going back to staying on with cars is because I'm also a very big Cars fan. Did you ever play the video game on PS2? Because
I did it.
that has to be one of
I
the
went.
best.
I played a video game, but it wasn't on a like. I don't even know what console it was. It was like
Yeah.
it was like I don't even I can't even describe it. It was basically if
Yeah.
CBB made a console. That's the only way I
Okay.
could describe it.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah. Because
console I got given as a child, but it was like it was so like child friendly, and it was like it was a cars game on it, like Light McQueen was on it, and you had to like drive
yeah.
through like colors and like numbers and stuff, and it was like all right,
Okay.
it's like a quick. It was like
That's
what was that website
interesting.
that we used to use in school instead of actually doing any work.
Yeah.
Cool maths games and stuff, but it was like a cars version of it.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, because the first Cars film that was for the PS2 has to be one of the best video games they did in that era. Because we had the Finding Nemo video game as well for PS2,
I remember
which I
having
forgot.
a PS because I remember you used to be able to put some like a little PS2 game download on a little stick, and the original
Yeah.
DS put it on the DS, and I remember having a Monsters Inc. one of that as well.
Yeah. There's Yeah, because I know the Cars 2 DS game is based on the original draft for Cars 2, where there was a
Mm-hmm.
French race and a German race.
Yeah.
So I had that, but yeah, the games were good. Like films might have
Oh yeah,
been a bit.
don't get me wrong. I mean, going back to probably the player now, it probably doesn't hold up very much in terms of graphics,
No,
anyways.
no,
But
but
I
it's
feel, I
still
feel
one
like
of those ones where you're like,
like nostalgic in a way, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. What else have we got for films?
So I've got Robin Hood. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
it's in the same sort of boat as Chicken Little, but a lot older in the sense of that it doesn't get a lot of notice, especially by Disney's marketing
No.
team. I feel like it's one of them films where it's like, yeah.
Mm,
I mean, I've watched it very recently as well, and I've always loved the story of Robin Hood.
yeah.
And I feel like that film as well. The first time I ever watched that was on. I remember exactly. I was at least 9 years old. It was on Easter Sunday, and it just came on the telly, and I just sat and watched it. Um,
Yeah.
but like, I really like the film. I don't know about what you think about it, but like, I
Yeah.
love the
I,
film.
like, I haven't like watched it in a while, but I do quite like it. I wonder how much it'll fare when the inevitable live action that has been in development since 2020 happens. Because I'm sure if we were still in the era of we're going to send films to Disney Plus, it would have been out by now. But with how
Yeah.
they work now, you don't get any films sent straight to Disney Plus now. So it'd be interesting.
It's quite funny as well, in a way. Like, I feel
Mm,
like Robin Hood. Not to try and be too much in the real world and the
yeah.
politics of the world right now, but I feel like Robin Hood is a
Mm,
film that people can probably get behind nowadays. In the story
yeah,
of
yeah,
like,
I get what you mean. Mm,
in the sense of like how, especially in the UK, how like class systems work, how a lot of people like in like a struggling time and some people aren't. Um,
mm,
I feel like it can really like I feel like it could really uplift a lot of, especially the UK and maybe even America and stuff like that.
mm,
In the sense of it's not just got that sort of backstage meaning to it. It's also just a really like
yeah,
fun film to watch. Like it's got some comedy in
mm,
it. It's got some songs and it's like really jolly at the same time.
yeah. But yeah, it's very prevalent, but it's just seeing if Disney would go there at the moment because they're very good at
Mhm.
just going. We're not going to discuss this.
Yeah, maybe it's not the right time to do that.
Yeah, but yeah, I do wish it would get a bit more like representation in parks wise, and just to be fair, I think anything that's from that 80s era, other than Winnie
Mhm.
the Pooh, you don't really see much of.
No, to be fair, you don't. And I mean, I feel like the other day I saw a TikTok, and in the background there was a Robin Hood Loungefly in one of the stores. I think it was the
Yeah,
one on Oxford Street. So it's like at least it's still remembered.
yeah. Mm. At least that one is, but you don't see any real Oliver and Company, no, like Rescue is too much or Black Cauldron. But then again, they've only just got the rights back for Black Cauldron.
Mhm. Yeah, I've never watched that one actually. I still need to get around to watching that.
Yeah, that as
Yeah.
a live action would be incredible. Just in
Mhm.
terms of doing it darker. Mm,
Yeah. Next,
mm.
I've got Hercules.
Yeah.
I just feel like, especially when it came out, um, it's such a feel good film. Like it starts off
Mm,
with like the muses and the gospel singing and like the high energy,
yeah.
and it's just like it kind of really sets the tone of what the film's going to be about. It's all this
Mm,
like heroes and Greek gods and happy like sort of vibe to it. Um, Especially last year, I went to see the musical in London, and
oh wow. Yeah.
it really captures that
Mm,
sort of like high energy. Like it
yeah.
almost made you feel like the movie was the main character and not Hercules.
Yeah. Because
Because it was
I've
like,
always said for years it was always slept on for years when
mhm.
you think of the Renaissance era, and then the musical happened, and everyone you're like, we've been saying this for years.
They said this has been great film for so long. Why has this not happened any sooner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I've got two more. One's kind of just a little funny mention because I watched it last night and I wrote it down
Yeah.
quick. But the next one, Big Hero 6, just because,
Yeah.
I mean, the creativity behind it to make, like, they could have easily just made it even San Francisco or Tokyo, but they've decided to make this world
Mm,
where it's like Tokyo and San Francisco in one, which is a
yeah.
really cool concept as well, because the two cities in general, Tokyo and San Francisco, ironically do pair quite well together in terms of its like
Mm,
the visual aesthetic of it. And
yeah.
to have Baymax in there is such a great character. Not as like because everyone probably thought, oh, they've got a robot in an armored suit. He's going to be like a destructive weapon, but actually no, he's
Yeah.
literally just like this balloon who just wants to help everyone.
Which is like very much a juxtaposition of all what the audience would think.
Like everyone expected, oh, it's a robot, so it's going to have like cool like features. It's going to be able to fight, and it's like no, it literally like absorbs out of its box and just like hello.
Yeah.
It's like the first inclination when you meet Baymax in like the little lab. Um,
Yeah.
it's just like hello, I am Baymax. And it's like most like that would have probably caught a lot of people off guard because like most robots wouldn't just be so friendly straight away.
Mm, yeah. And I think it's also like it's not hilarious, but it's a bit like ironic that you'd have because Big Hero 6 came out the year before Age of Ultron. So you've got one
Yeah,
robot wanting to kill the world, and
you
then
got one
one.
robot who wants he's like got like plasters in his finger to like give people, and then the other
Yeah.
one wants to take over the whole world.
Yeah.
And then the last one I've got, it's
Hmm.
mainly just because of bias of recently, in terms of last night, G-Force.
Mm,
Um, Mainly because I've found a massive love for guinea pigs. Mainly, um, I just love it. Guinea
yeah.
pigs. That's no really other explanation to it. To be fair, the film is quite good.
Yeah.
It's not as good as most Disney films, especially around the time when it came out.
Mm,
Like you've got Bolt and stuff like that, which I missed out.
yeah.
Forgot to mention on this, but like I don't know, it's just one of the films I remember when growing up. I had like the DVDs of it and stuff like that, and it has like the
Mm,
special edition DVD where like you get like the video game with it and the film and stuff like that.
yeah. Forgot about them.
Yeah, like sometimes you'd have like the special edition like Disney films, like you had it for
Yeah.
like Santa Claus 2. I remember the Santa Claus 2 one mainly because I played that so much, especially during December, where you've got to kind of like guess if it's the real Santa or the robotic one and stuff like that. It's like the little things
Mm,
like I feel like that's where in that era of like DVDs, I feel like a lot of kids now will miss out on because of Disney Plus. Like having them little other
yeah.
discs where you had to watch the film or play the little like mini games and stuff.
Yeah. Like there's like a generation of kids who don't know what Disney Fast Player is.
Yeah, that
You're like,
honestly, like, and some kids will only ever see like the intro, like the where it's like shows all like the Disney films, like the from like the Magic Within Our Hearts to the Adventures Beyond the Horizon.
yeah,
They'll only ever know that from a TikTok, and
yeah,
we'll know it from the DVDs. Like we'll know it like
mm,
so much
yeah,
different to what they were.
yeah. Which it's sad that you're like, you're not getting what we had.
I feel like we got like a luxury experience, like for having
Mm,
them sort of like DVDs and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. I think we grew up in when DVDs were at its height, and
Hmm.
now they're just collectibles, really,
Yeah,
with all the streaming.
now they just sit on the shelves of Kex and just rot,
Mm,
collected dust.
no, yeah, right. Next question. So, what are your favorite Disney characters?
So I've got two for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One I've kind of already kind of briefly went over as Baymax, just in the sense of just,
Mm-hmm.
especially recently, I watched the little mini series where like it goes
Yeah.
around
Mm-hmm.
and helps people. It's like it's such a different concept to what most people think about robots. It's like most
Mm,
robots you see are like ones who are like the Terminator, or you see ones like ones that basically wants to destruct things and break things, or ones
mm,
like C3PO who are just there for language barriers and for a partner for R2D2 and stuff like that. But then you've got Baymax who is able to like be like the sort of like the medic and able to like
yeah.
help with like even in that miniseries he helps people with like stress, that he helps people with injuries, he helps people with like things going on through their life and stuff like that. And it's like you never see that sort of concept tied to
No.
robots.
Mm,
And then my next one's Hercules. In
mm,
particular, the Hercules you see towards the start of the film, where like he's not a baby, but he's like sort of teenage Hercules, in the sense
yeah.
of like I resemble with him a lot when I was younger, in the sense of like I felt like a bit of a sense of like someone like who was different. Like for someone who like spent a lot of time in school, especially primary school, if any of the American viewers, that's like was like kinder, is it not kindergarten? Like what would it be
Mm,
in America? Like
is
primary
it
school, middle school,
middle
probably,
school, I
probably,
think?
probably like middle
I
school.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I know kindergarten's like preschool type thing and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. So probably like middle school. I was like
Mm,
one of the few kids who had. I think I might have that I know of. Anyways, I was the only kid who was diagnosed with like a learning difficulty, so I have like ADHD. So like
yeah.
it's kind of always felt like I was a step behind everyone else in terms of learning, and that I was always seen different by the teachers and by the other my classmates and stuff like that. Well, that's how I felt
Yeah.
anyways at the time. Um, but then to even in the sense of like loving Disney and stuff like that, like going into high school, in the sense of like I still struggle with my ADHD, I still love Disney, but if you
Mm,
express like, I mean, you might know it in the sense of, I mean, it might be different for you in school, I don't know, but in the sense of like you're afraid to kind of express how much you like Disney in a way
yeah.
because people
Yeah.
might think
Like,
you're a bit
mm,
weird, and it's a sense of like
yeah. Like,
now
I
being
think,
an adult.
yeah.
Mm,
Like, I kind of feel like you feel like you have to have an armor as much
yeah,
when you're in those settings. I never really discussed most Disney stuff till I got to uni level, where you're around people who aren't gonna like judge
mm-hmm.
really.
I still talked about like it was easy to talk about stuff like Star Wars and Marvel and stuff like that because every lad
Mm,
in school liked Star
yeah,
Wars and Marvel and Cars. But that was the kind of you kind of had to like bottleneck it in the sense of like it's just Star Wars, Marvel,
yeah,
and Cars, and everything else has to kind of
mm,
be like shut out. And then like now
yeah.
growing up as
I
like an
get
adult,
it.
it makes you kind of feel like, especially like in the sense of like the Go the Distance song, like being in this like Disney community, kind of makes you feel like you found where you belong. In the sense of like now you
Yeah,
found a group of
hmm
people who have that same love for Disney.
yeah, exactly. It's just taking a while to find them.
Mhm. Yeah, it
No.
took 23 years, but I got there eventually.
Yeah. What we like.
Oh no,
Right.
God.
Interesting. So I think you've mainly touched upon this, but how did you get into Disney?
In the sort of sense of like my mom and dad just put Toy Story on one day, and I just
Mm,
loved it and obsessed with it and wanted to watch more of it. And then obviously I went and watching like Chicken Little, Cars, Robin Hood,
yeah.
etc. and stuff like that. But obviously that's more in my childhood. But in terms of like my teenage slash adult, like getting back
Mm,
into Disney properly after being in school and stuff like that, was when I met Lauren. Um,
mm-hmm.
Lauren is it underscore Disney on Instagram. bit of a plug for my partner.
Yeah.
But she definitely helped us get back into Disney. I think I helped her get back into it a lot more because obviously she like
Okay.
Disney princesses and stuff like that. But it was more the
Yeah.
sense of like Cars, for example, and Star Wars and stuff like that. She never watched Star Wars until she met me. Like she
Mm-hmm.
managed to find that sort of love for other things other than like the Disney princess films, and I managed to find love in the Disney princess films and not just like Star Wars and Cars and stuff.
Yeah. No.
But mainly was like because when we first got together, the year after, it was the first ever time my birthday was when we'd been together, and she surprised us with a trip to Disneyland Paris. Bear in mind, I've never been to Disneyland Paris beforehand. I've only ever went to Disney World when I was really, really
Yeah.
little. So I'd
Mm.
never had any experience with Disneyland Paris, but she'd never been to Walt Disney World, and she'd been to Disneyland Paris before. So it was kind of the alternative of that. And when she
Yeah.
took us, and I say this in the like that it's going to be quite generic in the sense, but like literally as soon as I stepped into that park, I felt in love with Disney all over again because it's
Mm.
just it's what them
Yeah.
parks do to you. It's like it reminds you how much joy it gives you in life.
Do. I think we're frozen.
I know, I'm sorry.
I
So
was like, it just was
I,
very
I
fuzzy
was
for a
I was
second.
waiting for I was waiting for you to respond. I was like, oh, have you froze? Have I froze? I was like,
Right.
when I just
Right.
froze, please froze.
Yeah.
Just let
Yeah.
it go.
Well, we know what's getting edited out. Yeah.
Imagine like people that are
But yeah.
listening to like, the audio version of it and just like hearing the silence if you kept it in, just like, what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's really like really interesting thing is the thing is, and I don't want to share like British theme parks because they are great in their sense, but nothing beats the way that
I mean, I've,
the Disney
I've,
park.
I've never been to a theme park in the UK. I've never been to On Towers. I've never been to Flamingo Land, anything like that. Never been to any of them.
I've
So
yeah,
my my only
yeah.
like
I've never
aspect of the park is Disney or
yeah
Universal.
yeah. The the only ones I've done Flamingo Land once, never again, just because it's just it's not for me. And then I've only ever done, and then when I was like really little, I went to Drayton Manor, but that was for Thomas Land. So that's like the only low ones, and then I did Walt Disney 2014. So in the scale of you like the way that Disney's done,
Yeah,
mm,
it's just
it's
like
just like
even like Universal and stuff. It's like you can
mm,
tell like who's got the bigger budget. Like between like
yeah,
Alton Towers, and Universal and Disney, like you can tell it's not even a competition with like
no,
unless until like Universal build their park in the UK, there's no competition.
yeah, and then that'll be when Disney go, oh, we need to put money into Disneyland Paris. Maybe add some
But I
new
mean, they
rides
are.
to
I
that.
mean, they've got the World of Frozen. They're making a Lion King rise, which
Yeah.
is great. And a lot of the
Mm.
blueprints. I want to
Yeah,
if
that
anyone
part's
wants.
getting done, but yeah, they need to add something in the main
But
Disneyland Paris park. Mm.
ironically, one of your questions I mentioned something that would really help that park.
Yeah. Right. Do. Next question. Oh, we're going at the parks next anyway.
Well, speaking of which,
Speaking of the parks, what are your favourite aspects of the Disney parks?
I mean, there's not an in particular thing. It's like
Mm.
I mean, I feel like it's something that everyone will say about the parks. but it's like it's not the food, it's not the show, it's not the ride, it's the feeling and the emotion that it gives you. Like from
Mm,
stepping into the park, to then leaving the park, to then having withdrawals as soon as you get home from the parks. It's the
yeah.
it's what it does to you mentally and emotionally. It brings so much joy to people and so much happiness to people that
Mm,
I feel like if like the rides and the shows and the food help and stuff like that, but it's the music when you walk down Main Street. It's the smell of the smell of like pirates. It's the
yeah.
smell. It's like it's the sight. It's the visuals you see. It's that like
Yeah.
it's what your brain sees and not and how you feel about it.
It's the little things. Like, I'd sit, obviously, we all probably all sit and watch Disney vlogs, and you're like, when
Mhm.
people, when my family are like, well, why are you watching it on and on? And you're like, well, because that's new, that's changed, that's a new, you
Because
just
I'm
get the
not
little
there, so I
things.
have to watch someone else be there to make me myself
Yeah,
feel better.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Can't
like
get
I
just
what
yet.
really like the two in particular that I watch anyways. I watch Happily Ever Charlotte and Paging Mr. Morrow. Like two, like one from
Mm,
the UK and one from who lives in Florida, so he's there all the time.
yeah.
Ironically, when we went to Walt Disney World in May, we actually like met him like on like the
Oh,
off chance of
cool.
somehow met him in Disney Springs, and he honestly, if I could say there was someone who clearly represents the joy of Disney, it's him. Because
Yeah,
he's always smiling, he's always happy, he's always got a positive outlook to everything in the parks. Even when it's like something he doesn't like, he still will say like
yeah.
something, try and say something positive about it because
Wow.
Disney brings happiness to people, and
Yeah,
there's no should be any sense of negativity towards it because everyone's different. Someone might like something that he doesn't, so it's always so
yeah.
he always you can tell he always tries to find the positive in everything.
Mm. I think when it comes to the parks, and we'll chat about it further on, is that there's always something different for someone else. So you go into one park and like one ride might be for someone. You have that variety. Hmm,
Yeah. It's like in
hmm,
Disney, there's something for everyone. Like there literally
hmm.
is something for everyone. Like you've got like small rides for kids, you've got thrill rides for people who love roller coasters, you've got food for people who just
Yeah.
like extending their palate in terms of what they offer and stuff like
Mm,
that.
yeah. You've got benches for people to sit down from.
Yeah, like genuinely, I could honestly, if I could be teleported anywhere, I'd just be sitting at a bench next to the castle, just
Yeah,
all day. I
yeah,
would happily do that.
yeah, yeah. Where are you today? I'm just sitting at a bench.
I've been sitting there. How
So
long have you been sitting there? All day?
yeah, I haven't moved.
I haven't moved. I've got
Dude.
myself some Mickey waffles and I'm happy, right?
Yeah, yeah. So what's your favorite merch from the parks? Well, merch in general.
um, personally,
Mm.
I've got two, and Lauren's going to kill us for this because I have far too many, and I'll admit that I have far too many of them. Um, Caps. I love I love caps, baseball caps, like the designed ones. Like I've got
Oh, cool.
a Pixar one, I've got Star Wars ones, I've got the amount of like baseball, like New York Yankees caps I've got
Mhm.
is probably more than probably what the actual players have. Like, like I've got that many different ones. Like, I mean, I don't know. I've always like liked wearing hats and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
taking them off is a bit tricky because I always get terrible hat hair. But um, I've always, I don't know. I've always had like a fascination with wearing like a cap all the time, especially in the parks and stuff like that. But mainly,
yeah,
ones I love collecting pins. Like I feel like a lot of people can like sort of vouch for that. As I don't know what it is about these metal little things, but they're just
yeah,
amazing. Like, half of them I'll never actually wear. Half of them will just sit in the drawer for the
yeah,
rest of its life. But I've collected them, so I've got them.
Yeah. So, so next question: what is your favorite era of Disney?
It's a bit of a weird one because I don't know the actual names of the eras, but it's the eras
Yeah.
between the 90s and the 2010s. Like that sort of
So
30-year period is the
yeah.
sort of
So
what I'm kind of looking
Renaissance, which is Little Mermaid to Emperors, and then
for.
2010s, which is Pixar. And I never remember what the Chicken Little name is. It's
I think
like
Chicken
it's
Little's
not.
released I think in 2005 or 2007. I want
Yeah,
to say.
it's that. Yeah, it's like either of Treasure Planet. It's Treasure Planet till Bolt,
Mhm.
because Princess and the Frog starts the revival. But I always forget what its
Yeah.
name is.
Same with like Meet the Robinsons and stuff. Actually, to go back on your last question about merch, I feel like there should be
Yeah.
more merch because, ironically, when I went to Florida, I
Hmm.
found a
Yeah.
mystery box with a Chicken Little thing in and an actual pin, like a Chicken Little pin. And I felt like
Yeah.
there was no Bolt, there was no Chicken Little, there was no like even like Meet the Robinsons was such a great film,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
I feel like a bowler hat pin would be amazing. Um,
Yeah. Those Evers are like, come on. Like,
mhm.
it's 20th anniversary will be coming up soon.
Like
So
I know
maybe
that's not
give it,
considered the most profitable time for Disney, but still.
yeah, give it some love. Because I do think that those films, they don't have a lot, which are Chicken Little, Bolt. Like, I don't think they'd
I
ever
feel
really
like
do Home on the.
I feel like the same reaction to that sort of era is the same
Mm,
reaction the sorry the prequels trilogy
mm,
gets for Star Wars. It's a sense of like it was discredited at the time, but it wasn't made for that audience. It
mm,
was made for like our generation.
yeah.
Because now, as you're saying now, like a lot of people are coming out saying they love Phantom Menace, they love Attack of the Clones, they love Revenge of
Mm,
the Sith, but that was because the people who were young at the time when them films came out are now grown up and have like the ability to say, well, actually, no, we absolutely love them films.
mm, yeah. Like, there's much more of an appreciation now for those films
Hmm.
that we have
I mean,
that I don't think
I
we
can't
had.
say that for the sequel trilogy. I can't say that for the sequel trilogy for Star Wars though. I can't say anyone saying that was the best one. But
Yeah. I think it had a
maybe
good start, and I'm saying good as
and
in
good
just
in
it
the
was
sight
all
of
right.
the I would have still ranked it as lower than every other film before it.
Yeah, like it had a good. It started off all right, and then somewhere along the line it fumbled, and just into, oh, we've made money. That's okay.
We made Han Solo die. Now no one likes us. Great.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, you killed off Han
Okie
Solo plot too.
dokie. Yeah. So I'm gonna now just segue into. So,
Mm.
what are your favorite like Disney adjacent? So, for example, for listeners like Marvel, Star Wars, Muppets, etc.
I mean, I feel like the T-shirt says it all. Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Someone tried to bring us. That was what happened.
Oh. We're back. We're back.
There we go. There we go. Right. But like Star Wars has always been like something that's been around my life from ironically the day I was born.
Yeah.
Um, like even in the sense of, there's a really good story I've got, ironically from the day I was born. So my
Mhm.
brother is 10 years older than me. So if you do the math, he was obviously 10 when I was born. Um, he absolutely loved Star Wars. He was obsessed with Star Wars, and his favorite.
Yeah.
But ironically, the same year I was born was the same year Attack of the Clones came out. So he loved Anakin. Um,
Right.
and he really, really wanted the Anakin lightsaber. But my mum and dad, being not very much nerds, um,
Yeah.
or big fan of Star Wars, they got him an Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber by accident. Um,
Ooh.
to which my brother wasn't very happy at the time. Um,
Yeah.
but ironically, like later down the line, obviously now growing up, my favorite Jedi is Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it was kind of that little sort of like, I wasn't even on purpose. I just prefer Obi-Wan over Anakin, and it's that kind of sort
Mm.
of like, maybe that was supposed to happen. Like maybe it's like the
Yeah.
universe made that, done that on purpose to like say like, no, your little brother's, that's your little brother's favorite character in the future, kind of thing.
Yeah. That's interesting. Pretty cool.
I mean, as much as I love Marvel, like I adore Marvel
Mhm.
and I've adored what it's done, and honestly,
Yeah.
the amount of Spider-Man stuff I've got is I love for Spider-Man especially. Um,
Hmm.
Ironically, I still think that No Way Home was to now the best like after Endgame film,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
We've discussed this.
Yeah, like
It's
I feel like it kind of makes sense when you bring back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. You kind of automatically have to
Mhm.
say yes, this is the best one.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Especially like they've acknowledged that there was far too much that
Mm.
came out. Far too.
Like I feel like some of the series were really let down. Like One Division was good. I liked One Division.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hawkeye could have been so much more. Like I watched
Yeah.
that, and by the end of it, I was saying,
Yeah.
like,
I think
what is this meant to be?
yeah. What the problem with I don't know, the problem I have with both Hawkeye, Falcon Winter Soldier is they could have both been films. Uh, they were
Mm,
both made as films because of and then cut into 6 hour episodes, and you
yeah.
can tell it when actually
Even
Hawkeye probably would have worked
even Miss
better
Marvel.
as a Netflix 13 episode.
Yeah, yeah. Like even Miss
Mhm.
Marvel, I was really disappointed with that. Like
Mm,
for someone that like kind of roughly knows the character in the comics, like I feel like they've really let
yeah,
the audience kind of down with it.
yeah. They also not annoyed, not annoyed me because I get why they didn't make her an Inhuman, but for everyone who was like, "Is this going to be finally they acknowledge Agents of Shield?" and they go, "Oh no, mutant," you're like, "Thank
Yeah.
you."
And it's like even like is it Secret Invasions? Is that what the series is called about the scrolls?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm. Yeah, like that was that was such a I haven't even finished watching it. I watched the first episode and I was like, no, I'm not watching this anymore.
that no, I for and as I've said on the podcast before, I'm a big Marvel fan. Secret Invasion
Mm.
was my breaking point where I genuinely I was
Yeah.
sat there going, "What?" Because and the problem, my biggest problem was it was billed as it's going to be a crossover event across
Hmm.
six episodes, and you sat there going, "Where's this person? Where's that person?" Because you're
Yeah.
like,
But
clearly,
it was meant to be a film,
clearly
wasn't it,
this,
originally?
yeah, Yeah, it literally,
Yeah, isn't it?
this show could have been its entire phase. And you're like,
It's literally meant to be based off like the Secret Invasion comic, but that's like an Avengers level type film.
exactly, to make it into a 6 hour espionage, Winter Soldier-esque TV show, you're
Mm-hmm.
like,
It was just either you clearly just
it
didn't
didn't
have the
work.
budget for it, and you put more of your budget into Doomsday than you did that.
Yeah, and what's even more hilarious is that the film that it's supposed to tie into, The Marvels, doesn't acknowledge anything. Brave New World doesn't acknowledge any of the events of it. They just
It's like
go,
it's
we've
like
got a new
it's like
president.
Marvel kind of like, yeah, just forget that exists. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll try and work. We'll
yeah.
just work
Like
around
the
it.
only thing, yeah, the only saving grace of that show was Olivia Colman. That's it in that role. So yeah, literally my letterbox review is literally me going, "How I am so frustrated. Why?"
Just you should have just put why, just why that full
Yeah, yeah,
stop.
it
Done.
genuinely is. Yeah, it literally. I literally gave it a half star because you just sat there
Mhm.
going, "What is this?"
Like this is not the Secret Invasions I ever thought I was going to get.
No, and I stand by. It should have been its own saga. It made sense
Even
for it to be
ironically,
its.
right?
Mm,
I've just remembered the Secret Invasions comics is where Spider-Man gets Venom. So the fact that they've kind of missed that mark for one is
yeah.
mental.
Well, that'll be from what I know because what the where he gets the Venom comic is in the Secret Wars, which I have seen a lot of people suggesting he's wearing a black suit in Secret Wars because I
Hmm.
know he's not in Doomsday for reasons.
I thought Tom Holland was meant to be in Doomsday, isn't it? Or is it just the
Well,
sense of Venom's not in Doomsday?
yeah, well, from what I know with the contract, there's only one like other from the way the contract's working at the moment. There's only one other like Avengers type film on his contract. So there's
Hmm.
4, 5, and 6 this for solo films, but only like one. So I think they're saving him
I mean,
for the
realistically,
big one.
Charlie. I mean, everyone knows Tom Holland loves Spider-Man, and he loves playing Spider-Man. So I highly doubt he's going to say no to being in both.
Mm, yeah, exactly. But then again, you sat there going, "We've got James Marsden at this point. You've got people that they've
Hmm.
announced that you would have thought they wouldn't have announced,
Yeah,
which is
it's like the
crazy."
fact that they've announced pretty much most of the X-Men already. It's like you really should have just kept that a surprise.
Yeah, there's clear. As when I was watching that Chairs reveal and for 9 hours, which was crazy, and sat there watching it, going, "So if this is who you're announcing, who are you? Who are you keeping quiet on?"
Yeah, like I swear to God, if the people that keep inclining on, it's just a bunch of characters that mean
Yeah,
nothing to like the overall story of this. I swear to
mm,
God,
yeah.
it
Well,
better be like it better be like sort of like a big level person.
yeah. Like as I what I'm hoping is if it is this level of who you're not talking about, if it's Ben Affleck Daredevil, that if it's that kind of level, then
I'll be so
good.
disappointed because I
Yeah,
prefer the new Daredevil so highly more.
yeah, I do prefer Charlie Cox far
Mm.
better. But yeah, I will be fine if I walk into that theatre, watch the film, and a certain witch appears on screen. I'll be fine.
Yeah. Imagine she just
She's not
isn't in it.
dead.
It's like what? Imagine she's just
Yeah,
not in it, and then we've got to wait until
yeah,
like Secret Wars for her to be.
yeah. Like she's not dead, but considering how much she's tied to Doctor Doom, like you can't for them to
Yeah.
do a Doomsday, which is practically from what I've read and know is going to be a mix of The Time Runs Out and Children's Crusade, you kind of can't not do it.
Yeah, I feel like if they've got to have Scarlet Witch
They've got
in
it. Like,
Doomsday, I feel like it's
like
such a
if you,
mark missed.
yeah, well, interestingly though, is if at Avengers Campus she doesn't have the black fingers on anymore, so that's
Mm.
where I'm like, hang on, and then you've
It's as Disney
included,
trying to like use the pause as a hint.
yeah, Disney is saying she's not a villain anymore in Avengers Campus.
Is this the lens they have to go to so Tom Holland doesn't spoil the whole film?
Yeah, but it'll be funny watching things because I read today Mark Ruffalo was like, "I'm not in it. You clearly are."
Yeah, you're literally the Hulk. If you're not in it,
Yeah,
then where is the Hulk?
we've seen the concept art.
We've literally seen the video that they put of all of like the chairs in a line and your name's there.
Yeah, but if it was like,
I don't,
wow, they've trained you, Mark. Like, years ago, you would have went, "Yeah, I'm in it."
yeah, it's like people don't want to say that they're in it in case they get like sued.
Yeah, and that's the thing with it now, and that's it's an interesting way of marketing and thing. But I do think when it comes to certain characters, you're like, just tell us they're in it or not. Like you can keep
Yeah.
people back, but there's people in that aren't in that film that you're like, why aren't you?
I do
Like
also
your
hope
head,
that they bring. I do also hope they bring the normal Hulk back, like not Professor Hulk. Like I like
yeah,
seeing the Hulk that likes to just break everything he says.
yeah, yeah. Because from what I know and what this isn't a spoiler as much, but I do know Ruffalo's in the next Spider-Man film, and from
Mm.
what I've heard, Marvel have been listening, and you're not gonna have Professor Hulk for a lot longer.
Yeah.
From what
And
I've
I hope
seen
as
and
well.
read.
I hope as well if they don't have Professor Hulk, that we'll get a Wolverine versus Hulk.
Mm, yeah, like
Because that comic,
I'm
that
yeah,
comic
I
is
like.
amazing.
Like I read, I believe we're getting a Grey Hulk proper because
Mm.
they know that people don't like the Professor Hulk,
But
so it's
even
just
then, like, is it Brand New Day, the news Captain America? Or was it Brave New World? What's it called again?
Brave New World. Mm,
Brave New World. Like,
yeah,
what annoys me so much is that the hyped up Red Hulk so highly, and the fact that he's only in it for like
yeah.
not even like the majority of the film. It's just like
Yeah,
what a disappointment.
I think the problem they had with that was because the film was meant to come out in May 2024. Obviously, the
Mm.
strike happened. Everything got pushed back, and then the McDonald's toys got leaked because obviously they would
Yeah,
have been out at that time, and you saw Red. So they were like, at that point, you're like, we might as well.
yeah.
At that point, you're
They
like,
kind of really
everybody
want
knows.
it.
Mm. If it should have been a bit longer, that film, just for Red Hulk. Right. Next question. Good for that one. I'm gonna leave that one to last. So, what would you like to see Disney do, whether that be in films or the parks or even on the streaming service?
Well, I've kind of disregarded the films and the stream service, mainly just the parks.
Yeah.
I want to see a Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland Paris. There is
Yes.
so much room behind Star Tours that they could
Hmm.
easily put a Galaxy's Edge. Like
Yeah.
even next to like even though yes you've got like the Star Tours showroom right there, but that could easily
Hmm.
be hidden with the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. Because
Like
from what I
even
remember,
like
was
you
concept
don't
for it. Mm.
You don't even necessarily have to get rid of like Philommagique, right? That's like
Mm,
next door to it. You could make the entrance like go next to Philommagique, like on the exit of Hyperspace Mountain, and like
yeah,
go behind Philommagique. Because I feel like that park needs some, especially that area of the park needs so
yeah.
much work done. And I feel like having
Mm,
a Galaxy's Edge there will definitely draw attention to that side of the park. Because I feel like you've got like one side of the park's got like Big Thunder Mountain, you've got Phantom Manor, you've got Indiana Jones, you've got Pirates of the Caribbean, and then at the top
yeah.
of the park um, you've got like Dumbo and you've got Peter Pan and stuff like that. And then that side you've got Buzz Lightyear in Hyperspace Mountain, but then Star
Mm,
Tours is sitting there, which in my opinion is one of the best rides
mm,
Disney have ever made, just because of how unbelievable like they're able to capture like a Star Tour kind of thing, especially for how early they made it, like and how long it's been around for. The fact that they managed to capture that so well is incredible, and it really
yeah.
deserves the love that Walt Disney World and Anaheim have, where they have a Star Tours and they have a Galaxy's Edge.
Mm. Yeah, because I remember when we got the Frozen concept art, well, the concept art for them doing up the
Hmm.
Disney Adventureland. It was you had your Avengers
Yeah.
Campus, your Frozen Land, but in that corner there was a Galaxy's Edge type, and then it's just
Hmm.
never happened.
But ironically, there was a blueprint. I don't know if you ever seen it. It was like a thing that may have been was it is it D24? Is that what
It'll
it's
be one
called?
of the D23s.
D23, where they made a
Mm.
concept art for what they were going to do as the firework display. So like how Epcot has like the cross sort of firework thing in the middle.
Yeah.
In the blueprint they showed on the screen, they had obviously one panel going towards Frozen World, one panel going towards like the street to where like to where sorry
Yeah.
to where Lion King's going to be, and then
Hmm.
a one where another bit, and then there was another one that had the kind of slightly blurred out, but you could just see it. And the guy presented
Mm.
said, "There's an Easter egg on there if you can see it." And literally,
Yeah.
someone's analysed it, and it says Pandora. So
Mm.
I hope that they're genuinely going to do it and put Pandora in Paris as well, because I feel like
Yeah.
the fact that fair enough, Florida kind of has the perfect climate for somewhere like Pandora. But
Mm.
as we've seen in the last three films in Avatar, how they've got so many different environments and so many different ways of doing it, they could easily make a Pandora that is catered to the climate of Paris.
Yeah. Mm.
Because obviously the Pandora they've got in Florida is very like tropical and sunny, which is the sort of climate they
Yeah.
have in Florida. They could
Hmm.
easily make a more like not necessarily suburban because it's to be more around focused on nature, but more like a
Hmm.
coldery, sort of wintry even maybe sort of land that's very similar to the one we have in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. Mm. But I
It's
do
like
think there needs to be
Pandora and
something.
Avatar.
Mm.
Like Pandora and Avatar as a whole has so much hidden potential that potentially you could genuinely make a Pandora in every single part of the world and have a different theme around it in
Yeah, that'd
terms of
be
its
cool.
climate and sort of nature
Yeah.
around it. Because
Mm.
Pandora as a planet, obviously, like we've seen in the film, they've got fire and ash, they've got a water bit, they've got a jungle bit, they obviously will have like desert bits. They'll have so many different terrains and so many different like aspects of that planet that you could easily do it catered around the climate of wherever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. And I do think that Avatar's in its moment now, so I would jump
Mhm.
on it.
Yeah, like as it's like Avatar, like Fire and Ash has just come out, and Way of the Water is still quite a
Mm.
recent Avatar film. Even
Yeah.
the first Avatar, how long since that release, that's still one of the biggest profitable films ever made.
Mm.
Like it's
Yeah.
one of the biggest films of the box office. There's so much potential of like why save Pandora just
Yeah.
for one park? Like
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You
because
might as
Avatar,
well have a Pandora in so many different aspects of the world. Fair enough, places like California and Florida have quite, in terms of its heat and summertime, it's
yeah,
very, very similar.
mm,
But places like Shanghai, places like Tokyo, and places like Paris have so many different climates and so many different like ways of like original nature. Like you could easily cater that to the area that it's in.
yeah, exactly. It would be a cool thing for them to do. Hmm.
Like even like for the one in Tokyo, like imagine like walking around Pandora and there's like cherry blossom
Yeah.
trees instead of jungle
Oh, that'd
trees.
be cool.
Like it's
Yeah.
that sort of thing. It's like you could easily cater Pandora to the country that it's in. So obviously, like having cherry blossoms instead of jungle trees, having like oak trees in like the one in
Yeah,
Paris
that'd be cool.
instead of having that.
Mm,
Having different themes in terms of representing the culture as a whole in that country. So like Paris is very like old age aesthetic. You could have that sort of Parisian sort of look to it whilst trying to still make it kind of look nature and natural.
mm. Yeah, that'd be cool. I do think, I think there's something in that you could really make
Mhm.
it feel distinct to each different park that doesn't feel like it's just a replication
Yeah.
of a ride. You could each have
And
their own rides.
I could feel like they could have that easily as well with Galaxy's Edge.
Mm,
Pandora and Galaxy's Edge are very, very twinned in that sense of like you don't have to make back like the same land as you do in America as you do in
no.
other countries. Make it catered to that climate. Make it catered to like that environment. So potentially you could even have like a more like for ironically for Galaxy's Edge you could have more like a Coruscant where it's more like a
Mm,
city sort of
yeah,
like feel to it instead of more like a mix of like jungle and like hot climate and sand. Like what is it? Back two or Baku?
that,
Is it called?
that too. I think. Yeah.
Baku, yeah. Like obviously it fits for places like California and Florida, but places like Japan and places like
Mm,
Paris, you could easily, same with Pandora, cater that to the world that it's in because Earth's got so many different climates and so many different weather aspects that you could
yeah.
cater it and mold it to make it feel more realistic. Because it would feel more realistic if you're going to Paris and going to Galaxy's Edge. You're not expecting it to be sand because
No.
that's not Paris. Paris is more
Yeah.
mud and dirt and more like stuff like that. Like you're expecting a different climate and a different environment.
Yeah. That's a really cool idea, and I do think that would be so interesting in you having different planets in different parks that are more catered, and then you can do a bit more vast history, like we're seeing. They're going back to the earlier films in California Adventure with Darth Vader being brought back in, and a lot of the
Yeah.
John Williams' scores going into that Galaxy's Edge. So you could have other planets that are more catered towards some of the earlier films in other parks of their Galaxy's Edge that allows you to have that breadth.
Mm.
Mm, that I do think's
Yeah,
really
absolutely,
nice.
absolutely. So easy to like
Mm,
do that, and I feel like the Imagineers would take that on so well
yeah.
and be
Mm,
like, "Oh, well, we could do this, we could do that with this. We could maybe have this that's massively different to the ones we've done before." And it's like, it will drive people to go because a lot of people probably think, "Oh, why would I go to Paris when I've got Galaxy's Edge and Pandora and Florida?" But then that
yeah.
sort of difference of it's Pandora and it is Galaxy's Edge, but it's different. So I have to
Mm,
go there and see if it's how different it is. It's
yeah,
driving
exactly.
more traffic at every park.
Mm, yeah, that's a cool thing. So, what is your favorite Disney park?
Um, Ironically, Hollywood Studios in Florida. mainly just not just
Mm-hmm.
because it has Galaxy's Edge, but
Yeah.
it's the other aspects of it. Like the little Pixar bit they have the Rock and Roller Coaster. I've never
Yes.
actually been on Rock and Roller Coaster. I didn't get around to going on it when I was there. But obviously,
Mm.
Fight Force in Paris is the same thing, just different theme.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously, you've got when I was there, I had the fortunate chance to go to the Muppets courtyard and go to
Mm-hmm.
the Muppets land and go and watch Muppets 3D and stuff like that. But obviously, I'm genuinely, even though I'm not much of a Muppets fan, I didn't get brought up with the Muppets and stuff like that. But I'm really excited to see Monsters Inc. land in the sense of
Yeah.
especially how much creativity can they do with the ride, especially like the Doors
Yeah.
ride. It's like that's something we're
Yeah.
never going to see before. And it's something going to be so difficult to replicate and not be a copy and paste of.
Yeah. Mm. Like, I think that is definitely for us growing up. Like, for a lot of other people, they have, like, they've grown up with like certain certain films that have a lot of the rides. But I think for us that haven't grown up in that, as I call it, the golden era of Pixar, which is the
Mm.
first few years, is that I think you probably are the same way. You've sat there and watched Monsters Inc. for years and went, "Why is the Doors not a ride?" Like,
Yeah,
it is
like
so.
that.
It's
Such a
like, and now
simple
it's happening.
concept.
You're like, please don't mess this up.
And as well, I'm so because the one thing that I miss from Tomorrowland in Florida, which I didn't realize they didn't have anymore. So
Mm.
where I don't know if have you been to Walt Disney World at all recently,
Yeah, I've
or at
been
least in that.
a long time ago now.
Mhm. But like I don't know if you remember it, but like the Stitch show where they have Stitch in like the middle of the room. It's like it's based around like the start of Lilo and Stitch, where like he's still got like he's like jacket on and then he escapes.
Yeah.
But that got replaced
Oh,
with the
yeah.
mhm.
Stitch's Great
Yeah,
Escape.
yeah. Hmm.
Mm.
But that got replaced with the laugh floor. So it makes me think if they're gonna have where Muppets 3D used to be, is that gonna be are they gonna move the laugh floor to there and then bring something
Yeah,
to Tomorrowland?
I have been wondering that because obviously there is that big theater, and it probably
Mhm.
would make more sense to move that over. Because what I know is because when it comes to monsters, we're getting that ride. There's that
Mhm.
building there, and then they're gonna have Harryhauser as well.
Yeah.
Because
The only worry is obviously they've got the Toy Story
there's a
land in Hollywood Studios,
mm,
but then they've still got Buzz and Magic Kingdom. So it's like, will
yeah,
they just do the
which is
same
making
thing?
me
Just keep
think.
that there?
Yeah, because it's making me think. You know what? They probably will just keep that there. Because
Hmm.
for a while, for a while I can't remember where this was, but I'm sure there was a rumor that Wreck It Ralph was going to go into where Stitch's escape was at one point. I'm not sure if it's
Hmm.
still happening.
I don't know how that would work really, because
Mm,
if anything, you kind of want Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph. It was to be anything. You think you would want it to be
mm.
something based around Sugar Rush, like a racing sort of
Yeah, exactly.
simulator type thing,
Mm,
like what they've got in
yeah,
Epic
I have.
Universe for the Mario World.
Mm, yeah, so I'm sure at some point that'll happen. But yeah, it's an
Hmm.
interesting one with monsters with that ride.
Sorry, I'm just trying to save my battery up,
Mm,
turn my hotspot off.
we've gone
There we
again.
go.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm back.
Technical difficulties.
There we go, I'm back. Am I good?
Do do do. This will all be edited out. um. Oh, Interesting. Let me see if he messages me. Oh. Ah, you're back.
I went to turn my hotspot off because it was draining my battery.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. As I said, that'll all be edited out.
Yeah, post production.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, I do wonder how long Lafor has left there, because then I'm just like, what would they put in there? It's the question that fits Tomorrowland.
Maybe it's for Tomorrowland. I don't know. Maybe something to do with Elio if it does well. If it does well
Mm,
enough, they could
yeah,
maybe do Elio. Um,
mm, it's an interesting one. Like, to be fair, Wally could go in there. It's because there's
I
nothing
would
really
love.
Wally wise.
I would
If
adore to
anything,
have something to do with Wally in there.
yeah, because I've been seeing, because I was watching a vlog where they were showing Space 220, and I was like, you're paying that much to just sit. I was like, make it Wally themed. That would
To be
clearly
fair,
get more. There
in
needs
May,
to be
I went to
something.
Space 220. I went to Space 220. It was actually really, really good food. Like to be
Mm,
fair, credits to the people working on in
yeah,
Space 220. They clearly make it really, really good, and the chefs
mm,
are fantastic.
yeah. Like
Um,
I've seen
it is
vlogs.
a cool concept to be fair.
Mm, I feel like Wally definitely needs something. Like
Oh
what
yeah.
definitely Wally and Up definitely need. I know we're getting
Mhm.
like an up something up in Paris, but at some point we need to get them something.
Like all I've got really out of every single park in the world, they've got a little statue of Wally and Eve next to Hyperspace
Mm,
Mountain in Paris, and that's it.
yeah, like for a film that's brilliantly done and has won Oscars, you would think there
Oh
would
yeah,
be something.
you'd be so appreciated more.
Yeah, like hopefully something comes, because there's so much you could do with it.
I do think Wally would fit more in Epcot though, just because it's more of the case of
Yeah, yeah, I
the
see that.
world and the story of Wally. It fits so well with what Epcot kind of represents.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I
Literally
do.
in June, when I'm going back to Florida, I've literally got
Mhm.
a Wally jersey, and I'm wearing it
Oh,
to
that's
Epcot
cool.
because it's
Mm,
literally all about nature and plants and saving the world and stuff on global warming and stuff like that. So it's all about
yeah,
environmental issues and stuff like that.
and it would fit really well in it.
Mhm.
It does need something. I think Brave could do something at some
Uh,
point.
the fact that they haven't put anything brave wise, especially in
Yeah,
the UK pavilion in Epcot,
yeah.
baffles
That
me.
pavilion. Yes, we were. I don't know if you've seen, but we were chatting about it in the meetup group chat. Going, if there was a Disney UK land, well, not land, but if Disney were like, right, Universal's are going to build here, let's do one in the UK. How many Disney films could you use? And the list is
Well,
like so long, and yet
you've got Peter Pan,
Peter
you've got
Pan,
Brave,
101
you've
Dalmatians,
got 101 Dalmatians. That's the only ones I can think of, anyways. Them three.
101, Great Mouse Detective set in London, Oliver and Company's in London.
All right.
Brave is obviously Scotland. You could do
Mhm.
some Cars too. It's in
Yeah, you
London
could
for a
do
bit.
California.
There's an
There's a
entire
London for the
sequel.
last bit of the film. Yeah.
So there's a lot you could put in there, but it is a bit like, and obviously we were gonna get Mary Poppins, but I am
Mhm.
like surprised there's no Brave.
I mean, I understand that the UK pavilion is. You can clearly tell it's more centered around the aesthetic of Winnie the Pooh. because obviously Winnie the Pooh is one of Disney's
Yeah,
biggest.
exactly. So why is the Winnie the Pooh ride not there?
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's. I can imagine it's an absolute pain to think. Well, it's easier said than done just to go right. To get the ride, move it over to Epcot.
Yeah,
Like it's in the sense of like what's it going to replace? Where's it going to go? Like
yeah, exactly.
how can we fit it into the route and aesthetic of it and stuff like that. It's probably in the sense of the same with like the last floor of ones. I think it's like what can we
Yeah,
use to put it in, and then what are we
because
going to
like
replace it with?
yeah, because the Monsters ride at California is closing, and I saw the
Mhm.
other day that they might be moving those old animatronics over to the new land is, and I was like, put them in the restaurant. That's where they can what would work better.
Or just do what they're doing with the is it the Great Movie Ride and just put them in the windows and Hollywood
Yeah,
Studios.
like they could easily be used somewhere, or even just
Like I feel
at
like
the
Shelley
entrance.
doesn't take a lot to like build.
Mm,
Obviously, I can imagine it costs a lot of money. Don't get us wrong.
yeah,
Like I can imagine it costs a ton of money. But why use old animatronics for a brand new ride when you would want to use new animatronics for a new ride? It's like the same with like Tiana
yeah,
Bayou. I'm so glad that they build brand new animatronics for that.
yeah,
So like it kind of made it in a way worth it replacing Splash Mountain that you're getting something new.
yeah. Although to be fair, I wish the Tiana ride was based on the film more than the what was the proposed TV show, because I think a lot of people are
Yep.
like, "Where's the Doctor Facilier bit?"
That was the bit that I thought of when I wrote it. I was like, where's Dr. Facilius? Like,
Yeah,
surely
because
it would fit so well, like, especially when you shrink down.
yeah,
Fair enough,
because I've
it
seen it and
would
I'm
have
like,
made so much sense to have you be shrunk down by Dr. Facilius.
yeah, exactly. And also, each of like you could have had some of the drops could have been voodoo magic, but then as I was reading into it, it was meant to be based on the show that they were doing that they've now just not done. That's just
Yeah.
cancelled, and then which I'm surprised about considering the Moana TV show got made into Moana 2.
Mhm.
So you could have done something that just would have made the context of the ride a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so, which Disney film do you feel is overrated, and which one do you feel is underrated?
I think you bugged out. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You bugged out a bit. I saw you like going to read the question and then it just froze.
Ah, right, right. So, hang on, I'll just go again. Do. So, which Disney film do you feel is overrated, and which one do you feel is underrated?
So I think I've kind of addressed a lot of the underrated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Films, Chicken Little, Robin Hood, Meet the Robinsons,
Mhm.
Wally. I feel like is quite an underrated one, even though of
Yeah.
how big it is. Like it just doesn't get talked about as much
No.
as you would
No. No.
expect to.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, Overrated, personally.
Mhm.
Um, Turning Red, I've got.
Yeah.
I just I can't get it. I understand the moral of the story and stuff like that. I understand that, and it's a great idea and a great concept to like teach.
Mhm.
I just feel like the film's so like I get so like unfocused on it. It's just like I can't. watch
Yeah.
it without being, in the nicest way possible. I can't watch it without being bored.
Yeah, I do get what you mean, and I think the problem with those ones that I have with, because I group Soul, Luca, Turning Red together, is
Mm-hmm.
they're great films. I just don't think they were given the attention that they deserved, mainly for the
Yeah,
fact that he went, right, we're going to just put you straight on Disney Plus. I
yeah.
just,
So
yeah,
I didn't mind Luca. I thought Luca was
yeah,
alright. I just feel
mm,
like Turning Red, especially the moral of the story they were trying to portray, they should have done
mm,
so much more effort into it because it
yeah,
is quite the moral of the story is quite an important thing
mm-hmm,
in like in life, and it's like a lot of like there's a lot of stigma behind it in terms of like oh like it's quite embarrassing, it's quite like humiliating, but it's normal,
mm,
is it? Like it's a normal
yeah,
thing. Um,
mm,
but it's like I feel like they could have easily dived into that sort of topic so more. Like
yeah,
they should have thought more about it than just like chucking it out there and just saying, right, this is a film, this is the moral of the story. There's not much
yeah.
else to it.
They danced around really tackling it in a way that Pixar would have tackled it 10 years ago
Yeah,
in those earlier films.
it's like it's the moral of the story, but it feels like the story's brushed over,
Mm,
like, and it's just like the whole point of the whole film is that, and you kind of feel like you're kind of just brushing over it briefly.
yeah, no, I get what you mean when it comes to it.
I've got Elementals as well as one.
Hmm.
I feel like it kind of falls under the same fate as Turn Around in the sense of like they had something there,
Yeah,
but they just didn't do anything with it like enough to like draw well anyways my attention anyways.
yeah. So the ideas were there. It's just its execution wasn't how it could have been.
And I've got Wish as well, and it really disappoints me
Mm,
because that was meant to be the film that was like to remark 100 years of Disney,
yeah.
and it just wasn't a good representation of the last 100 years before that film came out.
Mm, yeah.
Like you would,
No,
it
I
feels
get.
it feels rushed. It feels like they didn't put a lot of thought and effort into it. They felt like, oh, because it's 100 years, we'll just put a different animation style on it and then call it a day.
Yeah. No, there was
And it's like,
so much. Yeah, there was so much more thought into the Once Upon a Studio short than there was into that
yeah,
film.
oh, there was probably the thought that they had on that little short was probably the same thought you have
Yeah,
in terms of putting your shoes on in the morning. Like it's just you just put them on.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like that's how I feel like the how much thought they put into Wish. It's like this is meant
mm,
to be the film that's meant to celebrate 100 years of hard work for animators, for Imagineers, for Walt
mm,
Disney himself to go from what Walt Disney's had to do throughout his life to get to where Disney is now. Like the hard work he put
mm,
in from such a young age to when he passed away. It's like you've
yeah,
kind of just threw it at the ground and stomped on it because it's
yeah,
like this should have been like a film that Walt Disney would have been proud to make.
yeah. Hmm. I do think they just stumbled when it came to it, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe what they could have done was have done a film that had every Disney character at that current time in it, which is what the
Mm-hmm.
short was. They could have done something really cool, and yet
And it's like the
didn't.
villain. Villain annoys me so much because like that's not a villain.
Mm,
It's not a villain. It's just someone who just has a different idea of of the whole story. It's just someone with a different
Yeah.
perspective. It's not someone who's genuinely evil. It's like you've got like
No.
so many different Disney films of like what a villain represents, and you've got like Snow White, you've got Sleeping Beauty,
Hmm.
you've even got like even Princess and the Frog. Like Doctor Facilious is like a villain,
Yeah.
and you just don't get that with it. You don't get like
No.
someone that's trying to genuinely disrupt that story. No.
You don't get it now. It's like
Mhm.
I think I do think I'm a bit bored of twist villains now. Now because there's been
Mhm.
one every sort of film that I'm like, can we just have a straight villain, please?
Yeah, it's like the first two you had Sid and you had
Hmm.
Al slash the Prospector,
Yeah.
and then in the third one you have Lotso, and Lotso I like as a villain because it's very complex in the
Mm.
sense of like he's not a villain, he's just his feelings towards the world have turned him into one.
Yeah.
Like his actions are villainous, but he's not doing it for the with a villainous intent.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it's like,
I get what you mean. Mm.
and it's kind of, and then they kind of recycled that in Toy Story 4,
Yeah.
like in a way. And I feel like, and then in Wish, it's just not even that at all. Like they don't even have villainous intent. They don't even have a villainous mind. They're just there. They just exist.
No. I do think that audiences are getting a bit tired of it, and I think they've tried to go, oh no, he's a straight villain, but he's just not a villain.
Mhm. It's
In
like
the vein of mm,
it's like not like a villain in the sense of like it's not even like a dictionary definition of a villain.
no, which it's interesting, and it's interesting to see. But I do think that some of the newer films, which is why they've diverted back into we're going to make a sequel,
Mhm.
is is a response to that, and then going, oh, Moana 2's made a lot of money, Zootopia 2's made a lot of money.
I love Zootopia 2 to be fair. I think it's one
But
of the
yeah, but
best films.
that's the thing,
Uh,
Zootopia 2. I'm like, I love it
like
because
I like
it's a good
how
film.
even in the first Utopia, like they got it right in the sense of the villain. It's like
Yes. Mm,
it is like a murder mystery type thing where you don't know who's like a who done it until the
yeah.
end. It's like
And
every
it's
sort of like, trailer and every sort of snippet of Zootopia 2, you thought, oh, the snake's going to be the villain,
yeah.
but then you know, they weren't the villain.
Mm, yeah. It's just a really good way of doing it. And them I think when it came down to Zootopia 2, they knew they had to get it right because of how the first one's so low.
Hmm.
And then and now seeing people wanting more. Like obviously the next ones are Frozen 3 and Frozen 4, and I'm like,
I
do I
mean,
really need them?
I didn't even think that originally. I didn't even think they needed a second Frozen, but then the second Frozen came out and it was really good.
Yeah.
So
I
hopefully
think
that they exceeds everyone's
mm,
expectation again.
yeah, like I think what I need is I need before the thing that I always look at is what is the story going to be? If is
Hmm.
there a necessary story, then tell it because
Yeah,
that's going to be. And if you care about that story, then you want to people to follow it. But if it is genuinely just a right, we want to make money here, it's a bit like,
the thing is, what I feel like nowadays, not even just Disney, but any film producer
yeah,
or any film company,
mm-hmm.
you can tell when it's a money grab, and you can tell when there's actual effort being put into it. Like
100% tell.
nowadays, it's so easy. There's no thin line between oh, it's a money grab or it's not. Like
Mm,
nowadays, you can tell the difference between effort and not, and like just I want money out of this.
yeah, 100%. You can just tell. So, what is your favorite Disney music?
Personally,
Yeah,
I do like the music in Cars, like the very
yeah,
like Route 60s, like the Route 66 song and the
yeah.
stuff like that. But then you've
The
also got
the
like Life
first
is a
films
Highway.
were mm,
You've got like Life is a Highway. You've got um Real Gone, which is like a
yeah,
very different, like it's a very rock pop,
mm,
like or like
yeah,
Life is a Highway is like a very rock country type song at the start, but then it starts to mellow out once you hit like Radiator Springs and then like Pillars at like Route 66 and like these sort of like jazz
yeah,
music and stuff like that.
yeah. Like
It's kind of like
as
the
much,
sort of
yeah, the music really helps tell that story, and
Mhm.
you can definitely tell that they were like, we're going to choose how to use this music.
Even like the R Town song where like it shows this like the flashback of like
Mm,
what radio stations used to be like,
yeah,
and then when everyone starts driving away because they bring the highway in past Route 66, so no one bothers to venture into Radiator Springs anymore. And it's
yeah,
like the sort of it kind of has a resemblance of every little town in the UK or even America where it's like they're building these like fair enough more efficient things in the world to make life
yeah,
easier, but then you're
mm,
missing the life of the air, like you're missing the life of the actual
yeah,
place that you're going to.
exactly. It's a really good film.
Yeah, Princess and the Frog's another one. Like it's got like the music in Princess and the Frog, like the New Orleans sort of like the Monty Gras
Yeah.
sort of music.
Hmm.
It's some of the best music I think Disney have ever had, just because of
Hmm.
how well they done in replicating that sort of environment. Like New Orleans is like French Quarter, for example. Like every
Yeah.
story, every sort of thing you ever hear about it, it's always bustling. It's music, it's jazz, it's like everything about it, and they have done it so well in
Yeah.
representing. Like I feel like, especially in New Orleans, like music is its own entity, like it's its own person.
Yeah.
It's got
Hmm.
its own life in that area, and a lot
Hmm.
of places have that. Like, but like something like that, like the music is its own thing. Like New York, the the skyline, the lights in New York City is its own living thing. It's its own
Hmm.
representation of the place.
Yeah. That's really cool. Like, I do think that they know what music works for a film, and I do
Mhm.
think that they then sit and go, how is this going to help in telling the story? And those examples really are heighten and set those films in the worlds that they're in.
You can't forget as well if
Hmm.
we're talking about music. Um,
Hmm.
Toy Story 2, When Somebody Loved Me,
Yeah.
Flashback of Jessie.
Yeah.
That
Hmm. They.
that was the first time I ever felt like sorry for a toy in my entire
Hmm.
life. Like I'm watching that as like a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
making me think I am never getting rid of any of you because I am not abandoned. I'm not letting you go, like get abandoned and stuff like
No.
that. It's like
No. No. Like if they like play like even a few bars of that in Toy Story 5, people are gonna
even
go.
even if the intro to the film is the melody
It's
of
just
that, you're gonna
everyone will
have like
die.
it's just gonna be people in tears before the
Yeah.
film's even started.
Yeah. People will be like, they've done it. We don't need to stick this.
Yeah, you know the tone of this film now, and it's gonna be very depressing.
Yeah. We're all sat there going, oh god. And
It's like we
then
thought
you've
the
got all
ending of
these
Toy
young
Story
kids in
4
the
was
cinema
sad.
going, yeah, watching adults crying, going, "Why are
Yeah.
you crying?"
It's like Pixar to moment. You thought the ending of Toy Story 4 was sad. Well, we've got a whole film for it.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to be depression, just from those few bars. You're like,
There's
no.
like the slightest little inclination of that song. It's gonna be like, well, yeah, right. I'm crying.
Yeah, yeah. Like when kids come out and go, "What was that song?" and then they play it to them and go, "Oh God."
You know when you'll understand when you're older.
Yeah, yeah. Did you?
And
Right.
then they'll be
So
like, "Can I go on my iPad?" And then no, the funny thing is, they'll be like, "Can I go on my iPad?" I'll be like, "We're binning your iPad now.
yeah, no iPad.
You're
You're
not
gonna
allowed
go
that
play.
iPad ever again." Why, Dad? Because Jesse said so.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. What? So final question: what is the feeling that Disney leaves you?
It's kind of like the sense of the parks in a way. It's like it's such.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll probably know yourself. Trying to
Yeah.
explain the feeling that Disney gives you to someone who doesn't get it or
Yeah.
doesn't like
Mm-hmm.
Disney as much as you, it seems like from an outside, like if you were to say it from a different perspective, like it seems so foreign and so like alienated to other people. Like they just don't get it. It's like
Yeah.
the films, the parks, the merch, the just the food, just everything about Disney gives you that certain
Mm-hmm.
feeling that is just.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'll wait until you get back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm back.
But it's like I say, it's like trying to explain. Like I'm trying to explain it to like my family or like my coworkers,
yeah.
and it's just something unless you know it, unless you express it, unless you feel it, you don't get it. It's like
No.
from this, like even the songs and stuff like that, the songs, the food, the parks, the films, like everything to do with Disney. It's just so different and it's so hard to explain to others, like the feeling of emotion and joy that it gives people. Like, because some
Yeah.
people just say, it's
Mm-hmm.
just a couple of films, it's just some food, it's just some songs, it's just a park. To some people, that, like, it's like more than that. It's more than just this, just that. It's like the best way I've been able to describe it, especially to like my dad, for example. It's like
Yeah.
he couldn't live a second without football.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't live two seconds without Newcastle United existing. It's like because his entire weekend relies on, depending on his mood, if Newcastle win or lose.
yeah.
I kind of have that sort of same thing because I love sports. I love Newcastle United. I love
yeah.
American football, basketball, baseball. I understand it from that side, but in the sense that's how I try to describe it to my dad, for example. It's like your whole emotion and your whole experience of Newcastle United is the same as I would have with Disney. It's like
Yeah. Mm.
unless you understand the feeling of it, you can't explain it.
Yeah. No. I get what you mean, and I do think that if you're not in the bubble, you don't really like you don't get it. But it's hard to explain why we all like gravitate towards it, and we all have our own reasons. And unfortunately,
Mm. Sorry, my
yeah,
headphone was dying, so I
that's
switched it.
fine. Right, do. Right, let's wrap this up. so, where can people find you?
So my TikTok is tom.taylor02. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that anyway. How have I forgot my own ass? Jesus Christ.
I do it every
Um,
week.
I've got, but I mean, I've got a link to my TikTok anyways on Instagram, but my Instagram is tom02disney.
Yeah, and
You can
I'll
find us
put
on
that in
there.
the show notes below
Mhm.
as usual. You can follow me on Instagram at Straight Onto Disney Pod, and you can follow me on Straight On. You can email me at straightontodisneypod@gmail.com. Thank you for joining me, Tom.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you, and I'd like to say bye to everyone.
So
And